Hello, Irish fans, and welcome back to another episode of the Golden Domers Report. I'm Landen and Traylor, along with Dylan Kerns and the man, the myth, the legend, John Richards. He's back. Frenchie's back. What do we got there, John? What do we got there?
Notre Dame bobblehead.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
I couldn't really see it that well. Yeah, that's nice. Golden boy.
Yeah.
That looks like Notre Dame's golden boy.
That's right.
Yeah. All right. Well, Notre Dame coming off of a 34-6 whopping of Navy. Always good to beat Navy. Always love that rivalry. Always love to play Navy. I hope for as long as I get to live that Navy is always on the schedule. That's just a game that's always been there for me. It was my first game, and I hope they never get taken off of the schedule. So now, away from the rivalry and the importance and the history, our defense is back. Like, I know we were playing Navy, but that's a Navy team who was improving weekly by offense. That's a Navy team who put up 20 against Cincinnati. So, JR, Dylan, I'll wait for you because I know you're going to unload on that statement. But what were your thoughts on the defense on Saturday?
Yeah, look good, sound fundamentally, good technique, good scheme. Everybody was disciplined, staying in your gaps, following the ball. They were able to turn it over once in the end zone. That was nice. Good and aggressive. More proof that, Freeman is implementing his scheme and he's having some success this year. We're moving in the right direction. Just overall, a good day for the defense against a very difficult opponent to prepare for. Like I said on last week's show, we will see the effects of playing a Navy team when we transition to playing a high-scoring and powerful offense in Virginia. So that will be interesting to see how we transition.
It'll be very interesting. Dylan, thoughts on the defense?
Yeah, whenever you play Navy, obviously it's a lot of running, it's a lot of physicality, and you got to make sure you tackle well. So at least this gives us an opportunity to shore up the tackling and make plays in that area, which is, the Notre Dame defense throughout the course of this season, I think we've seen them be good at times, and then we've seen them be bad at times, and you just don't know which one you're going to get. They did show up, but, you don't have to guard against the pass when you're playing Navy. That's something you just throw out the window. All you got to do is sucker in, see who gets the pitch, and then you just go from there, make the tackle, and then you're good. So I do agree with JR's comments of it was a physical game against Navy. You're going to have to tackle a lot, make big plays, a lot of contact in that area. Now you're going up against a high-powered Virginia team. And I don't think you can look at this and say, oh, Notre Dame's defense is back because, it's a Navy team. You only have to focus on one area of play. And they did do a good job in that area. But, what's going to happen if the secondary gets toasted next week? I don't think Notre Dame's defense is back by any stretch of the imagination, but I do think that they are improving, and they're also very inconsistent.
I think we are back. I think we've had a great year defensively. One game was really poor defensively, in two games, actually. Let me put Florida State and Toledo, the first two games of the year. Cincinnati, we gave up 24 points. Wasn't the defense's fault. How are you going to stop them when they get the ball twice at their own at the 5-yard line? Thinking back to it, Purdue, 13 points, one touchdown. That was early on in the game. Looking back on it, after Cincinnati was Virginia Tech, our secondary got burnt, but then again, 2 turnovers, 2 pick sixes, to be exact. So I think our defense is it has played very well for a first-year coordinator all year. Jack Cohn played really, really well. I know it's a Navy defense, but Navy, they're a team who held Cincinnati to 27 points and had them on the ropes. I feel like him and Kevin Austin have a special connection. Kevin, that's another person I have here on my list of names I wrote down. Kevin Austin, he played really well too. I'm glad to see he's back and knows how to catch a ball.
Yeah, Kevin Austin, he had a great game, 6, 139 and a tutty. He's really good. You mentioned the drops a little bit, something that he struggled with in some areas this year. But to your point, Jack Cohn, great offensive day, over 260 in the air, and then he also had the touchdown to go along with it, and he's making smarter throws. That's it. He's getting the ball out. He's getting completions. 7 catches for Kyron Williams. He's getting involved. He's not only rushing 17 times, he's getting a lot in the receiving game, a lot of check downs. I like that a lot because it helps Jack Cohn get comfortable. He can just look out, get it out quick, and not force any bad throws. So I think Jack Cones looked phenomenal. To your point, Kevin Austin, by far the number one wide receiver on this team. And, it's finally looking like, I don't agree the defense is back, but I think the offense is, I don't know if the word's back, but I think they're improving week after week, and it continues to show.
I will say that it is a huge blow to not have Avery Davis. He is out now with the torn ACL. That's a huge blow because he really was the best receiver we had. JR, thoughts on Kyron Williams as well as the offensive line on Saturday?
I think that marks the fourth straight game with over 200 yards rushing. I'm not completely sure of that. I think it's 4 straight games. Definitely improvement. Again, moving in the right direction. I read a stat, I think today, that Jarrett Patterson is like top 2 or 3 in pass blocking, grading out. That's nice. So, I'm not going to get too excited. Navy's still Navy. They're 2-6, or now 2-7. It's a nice win. We got out relatively unscathed, except for, Davis, who actually suffered his injury in practice, right?
Yeah.
Is that in practice? So, we're moving in the right direction, but, momentum is only as good as your day's starting pitcher. So we'll see how that takes shape against Virginia, because, they're going to be frothing at the mouth for us. They have not had the greatest luck in their stadium when we've come to visit them. I was watching some highlights of when we played them in 1989. We opened the season against them in the Meadowlands. We put a stomping on them then. They played us tough in South Bend. Was that last year? They all guns a-blazing, onside kicks. So, they're going to come to play. We got to keep it going. If we can get past Virginia, and there's, some carnage in front of us, kind of segueing into the playoff joke of a rank. We'll see where Notre Dame can stand.
We're going there in a minute. Last thoughts on Navy, anybody?
A lot of people are like, oh, this isn't a playoff team and Notre Dame doesn't deserve it. All very well and true, and probably an accurate statement. But I can honestly say, maybe there's one team this year that is right now, as we speak, deserving of being in the playoffs. So if there's 4 slots and there's only one team that's truly deserving, why shouldn't it be Notre Dame?
Right.
Yeah.
I agree. I absolutely agree. But we're going there in just a second. Any final thoughts on Navy from the two of you?
Love the rivalry. That's about it. I mean, I think we got what we expected here.
Right.
I no one thought Navy would come in and beat the Irish. I was a little bit concerned about time of possession, but that obviously wasn't too big of a thing in this one. So still found a way to get some offensive possessions. Still found a way to go out there and play. And shout out to Golden Tate on the sideline there before the game. I love seeing him. Also Corey Robinson alongside Jack Hollinsworth talking about the Navy rivalry and all that stuff, obviously on NBC. So kudos to Golden Tate, former Notre Dame wide receiver as well.
Keep coaching them up, Coach Ken. Keep coaching them up.
I will say that Tommy Rees is really beginning to trust his players a little bit more, I feel like, in the play calling. He's not going to have, he's not going to be sending people deep who he knows they can't catch the ball. But I do feel excited going forward. Tommy Rees with his play calling. All right. Now it is time to get into our weekly preview of the Virginia Cavaliers. Notre Dame with a prime time matchup against the Cavaliers of Virginia on ABC from Charlottesville on Saturday night. They have a loaded offense, guys. This is the second. I almost want to say that this is a better, more put together offense than North Carolina was. But JR, go ahead and give us a little preview of Virginia.
Yeah, their offense is definitely going to pose some problems. A lot of respect for their coach, Bronco Mendenhall. Good career he has had and some nice stops. But, they're much like North Carolina. I don't want to give them too much credit on the offensive side of the ball because they have so many holes on defense. They're like a slice of Swiss cheese. So if the Notre Dame offense can sustain some drives, keep the defense on the sideline so they're refreshed and well rested and they're not gassed throughout the game, I think we're going to be all right. Again, this may come down to a special teams play, a defensive play, or a score. But, you know, being on the road, we haven't been on the road in, 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
It's been since Virginia Tech.
Yeah, so that's a little worrisome. But, you know, Brian Kelly, his teams have traveled pretty well against, you know, average opponents. When we go on the road against higher ranked opponents, I'm not so sure. But, you know, I think we're a 5-point favorite. I like that. I'm not too overconfident. I'm not too concerned. Maybe that should be concerning. But this is going to be a pretty good test for us. And if we can come out on the right side here, I like our chances.
Notre Dame has scored 31 plus points in every single game the last 4 weeks. That's ever since the Cincinnati game. So they have shown prolificity on offense. They have been proficient in all areas. And I think the establishing of the run game, the more consistency of the offensive line has been big for this football team. And I think their offense is good enough. And you mentioned a few weeks ago before the North Carolina game, I asked Logan, among others, I said, can Notre Dame win a shootout? And I think we saw it in that North Carolina game where there was a lot of offensive points coming up. Notre Dame stuck with it, right, 100% the entire time. So I think this will also be another game where they're going to get exposed defensively, but they're going to find a way to perform offensively to stay in the game. Kyle Hamilton, still a big question mark. I think if he plays, it's a lot more in favor, but he said he's trying to play, but we'll provide an update later on that.
Brian Kelly, I don't know if you watched his Thursday presser. He said that Kyle Hamilton has not been medically cleared to play. So,
well, that's not good news for the talented safety who's probably a top 5 pick. But you know, we beat a North Carolina team, a good offense without Kyle Hamilton, but they got to step up. And I think even without Kyle Hamilton, it switches to the offensive side with another injury. Avery Davis is a big injury. Hopefully we see more Braden Lenzy. Hopefully we see more of the young kids, Lorenzo Styles mixed in. I'd like to see a lot more receivers used. And then hopefully Kevin Austin has this big week as we're expecting. And if not, then it could be pretty bad because, I mean, the offenses look good. And hopefully the loss of Avery Davis doesn't affect that too much.
Right. Now, look, this is the biggest game left on our schedule. You know, you look at Stanford, they have a losing record. You look at Georgia Tech, they have a losing record. This is the biggest game left. You know, you want it, let's go get it. You want to be in the playoff, prove that you can beat an average team, who has a very high level offense in Brandon Armstrong, which he's going to be playing with broken ribs or bruised ribs or something like that. I know that for sure. He's still a very high-level quarterback. Just look what he did with the broken ribs against BYU. Anyway, we need Cone to play like he has been. We need him to be accurate, stay in the pocket, and heck, I'm even fine with Cone running the ball a little bit.
Jeez, glad you are.
I mean, hey, touchdown, man. Touchdown Cone. Should have thrown up the Heisman after that just to poke fun at the Their defense is really, really shaky. I mean, they gave up 66 points to BYU. I mean, I don't care who you're playing. You gave up 66 points in the game of football. That's a red flag for me on the defensive side of the ball. They can score, obviously. Like I said earlier, they have a more put together offense than North Carolina, in my opinion. In my personal opinion, I think they are a better offense than North Carolina. We need Kyron to be Kyron Williams. He needs to have another star game. Just what JR say, 4 straight games, 200 yards rushing. We need that. We need to make it 5. And lastly, the O-line needs to be better than the Navy game. O-line was a little bit shaky. We gave up some sacks on Cone. We also had some loss of losses, yards on some plays. And lastly, I know I said lastly, but we needed, like JR mentioned, we need a defensive and a special teams touchdown. It hasn't happened in a while. I don't think we've had a pick six or anything. I think maybe USC, maybe North Carolina. I'm not sure. We need a special teams or a defensive touchdown because we got to find a way to slow down this offense.
I agree.
I think the scheme, our coaches can come up with a scheme to neutralize a lot of their efficiency on offense just by running the ball and shortening the game a little bit. So I'm confident that if we continue to do the things that we've been doing for the last 4 weeks that have produced solid results in the run game, that we're going to limit what they can do on offense. And going back to Dylan's point about a shootout, we did agree that Notre Dame could win a shootout. But again, I want to make the point that we need to stay ahead in those instances. I don't want to be playing those games where we're coming from behind. It's important to stay ahead. And I got a question. I don't know if either of you can answer this. What's Tyree's status?
I don't know. He hasn't been. He was out there. He played last game, but he wasn't used much. He had 3 catches in a rush. Not sure about his status.
I mean, he had that turf toe. So, I mean, I'd like to get him back in the mix because he's another weapon, with a guy down on the perimeter and Davis. We're going to need somebody, and he can provide that.
I want to make a point real quick. Ever since Chris Tyree dropped the ball in the Cincinnati game and fumbled it away, he has not been himself. You look at his stats; he truly has not. You got to wonder if that maybe rattled him a little bit because you know damn well Kelly got on him. I saw it on the sidelines. He did. That was probably the first time that Kelly has got on him. But is what it is. He's a phenomenal player, and I really do hope to see him back because he's explosive. I mean, just look at the Syracuse game last year. Or even
Wisconsin.
Yeah, had the kick return against Wisconsin. Logan Diggs has looked pretty decent too as stepping in. He had 50 rushing yards on 8 carries and a touchdown last game. So he's looked good too. But I agree to your point. Tyree has that speed weapon that you need.
Right. All right. Well, any final thoughts here on Virginia before we get into the Week 11 picks?
Need it. Go get it.
Win the game.
Yeah, great pep talk, Dylan. Win the game. All right, let's get into our Week 11 picks, folks. First, tonight at 7:30 p.m., we have North Carolina on the road at number 21, Pittsburgh. JR, Dylan, myself is the order today.
Yeah, we touched on this game a little bit when we went through the rankings. I'm going to go with Pitt here. I think it's a tough third game in a 3-game stretch for UNC. Pitt's coming home off of a decent win over Duke. Both of these teams have some questions on defense, but I'll take Pitt at home.
Yeah, give me Pittsburgh. To those exact points, tough stretch for North Carolina, and it's one of those where they played some tough opponents, and then it's a short week, and they're on the road. Like everything's screaming Pittsburgh here. You guys are gutless. I'm going with North Carolina in the upset here. I think they really I don't think Pittsburgh can slow down their offense. I truly don't. They haven't faced an offense like North Carolina's yet. We may be gutless, but you're 0-1 to start the week. Continue on. We'll see about that, Bubba. Friday at 6 p.m. on ESPN2, we have 5th-ranked Cincinnati at South Florida. Get the popcorn ready.
Yeah, I have no faith in South Florida. I'll pick Cincinnati here, but if you're a betting man, the last 4 or 5 weeks, Cincinnati, you may want to take the points. I think I'd throw every single dollar in my bank account on Cincinnati money line. I've never been so confident in a win here. Cincinnati's going to blow the rails off of South Florida. I got Cincinnati here as well. Like JR mentioned, it's a conference game. It's on the road, and they really have struggled against teams like this. I got Cincinnati. It's going to be closer to the third, but like they did against Tulane, I think they're going to maybe blow it open a little bit. No chance at a comeback like they allowed for Tulane. Did you see how that game ended? Yes, it was crazy. They almost did it. How do you not score? I mean, What's that kid doing sliding instead of diving? Like, you got to go out, man. Get that ball across the goal line. You're not sliding into second.
This is football. This is football. Like,
Right.
take the damn contact. All right, anyway, I got Cincinnati here. Saturday at 12 p.m. Man, it must be the SEC's bye week because we got New Mexico State at number 2, Alabama on the SEC network. God.
51.5. Give me Bama.
Wow. Yeah. Elephants.
Roll Tide, baby. 51.5. That's a little much. That's a little much. Don't you think, JR?
That's a lot of points. In a game like that, usually Saban plays it really vanilla. There may be a look-ahead situation next week. I don't know who they play, but I'd probably lean points.
Yeah. All right. Sticking on a Saturday slate noon. Here is an underrated game, I think. 6th-ranked Michigan at Penn State on ABC.
Yeah, really good game here. Do you trust Harbaugh in a situation like this? I am going to go with Penn State. Tickle me, Sandusky.
Wolverines of Michigan win this contest by 5.
I'm going with Penn State. Jim Harbaugh in Happy Valley. His team is 8-1. You guys remember the Iowa game a few years ago? Iowa knocked off undefeated Michigan in I think it was week number 10 because Michigan was 9-0 or something like that. Iowa walked it off with a field goal. Give me Penn State. Give me Penn State. I don't trust Harbaugh. Michigan, a little overrated. Harbaugh can't win a big one. Penn State, give me the Nittany Lions at home. Are they doing a whiteout?
Probably. They're a home dog. Yeah. Penn State.
At home too. I know James Franklin. I know Penn State hasn't been playing well. They got a good record at home this year. To beat Auburn at home the way they did, give me Penn State. 8th-ranked Oklahoma at 12th-ranked Baylor on Fox. Here's both your joke teams, JR.
Yeah, this is no, I like Baylor. I didn't like the situation that they were in last week. With TCU firing their coach and Jerry Kill making another appearance as a head coach. I do like Baylor at home getting 5.5, but I think was Oklahoma off last week?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so Oklahoma's coming off a bye, but they're going on the road to Baylor in a bounce back spot. Just because I like to say it, give me Mobile Homa.
Nice. That's the right choice, JR, because Oklahoma, this is where they prove they're an undefeated team. This is going to be one of their bigger wins that should jump them up. If not, then I think we'll be having a hot discussion next week. But, Oklahoma's a great team. They're 9-0. They're finding ways to win those games. Definitely the quarterback controversy early on in the year. Now the tide's switched over to the young kid, but going to go full on Oklahoma here with a win against Baylor.
Listen to Oklahoma's last 3 games of the year. This is a gauntlet of the Big 12. At Baylor versus Iowa State, and then I'm not sure where's Bedlam this year. Anybody know that?
I don't know.
Either way, they play Oklahoma State. Either way, that's a gauntlet of the Big 12. They're going through it right now. In my opinion, they're going to go out of it 1-2, and they're going to take a loss on the road here to Baylor. A bounce back week for Baylor. Oklahoma coming off of a bye week, yes, but to come off of a bye week and go to a place like Baylor, man. All I can say right now is this is going to be a game to get the popcorn ready. This is going to be a shootout, a good old Texas-Oklahoma shootout. Defensive coordinators might have the day off on Saturday. Give me Baylor. WS. Mississippi State at 17th ranked Auburn on ESPN at noon.
Boy, another tough game. I like Auburn at home. Give me Auburn.
Hail State.
Ooh, why?
Bo Nix.
Yep, there we go. I knew that was coming. Give me Bo Nix in this one. Mississippi State really fell off. Look, I like Mike Leach, but he's not an SEC caliber coach. I hate to say it because I really like him. He's not an SEC caliber coach. Give me Bo Nix. Northwestern at number 21, Wisconsin on ESPN2.
Give me the under in this game. I'll take Wisconsin.
Do I take the nerds or do I take the cheese? I think I'll take the cheese. Give me Wisconsin.
Cheese.
I'm going. Wow. I'm going with Wisconsin. I'm going with Wisconsin in this one. To 7-3 they go. Northwestern. Man, a year ago we were talking about how Northwestern could possibly win the Big Ten and knock Ohio State out of the College Football Playoff contention. Wow. So much can change in a year. Wisconsin, big. Number 1, Georgia at Tennessee on CBS.
Another game we touched on. It'd be interesting to see how this defense fares against the Tennessee offense. But give me Georgia.
Dogs, big.
Yeah, I'm rolling with Georgia as well. Go Dogs!
Hold on. Line is 20 on that one.
20.5. Yeah, 20. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm definitely taking the under. Or not the under, but I'm taking the points.
Georgia. 19th ranked. Here we go. 3:30. We're on the 3:30 p.m. So, I missed one. I had a note and I forgot it. 24th ranked Utah at Arizona on the Pac-12 network. That's at 2 p.m. My apologies.
Utah, love how they're playing. They've been treating me very well in another pool that I'm in.
Arizona is an absolute disgrace to college football. Give me Utah.
Hey, they got their first win in over 2 years last week, man.
And they're not getting another one this week.
Right. You're not getting another one all year. Give me Utah. Big. All right. 3:30 p.m. We have 19th ranked Purdue at number 4, Ohio State on ABC.
That pretty much says it all, Landen, for our guests at home. You can't see what he's holding up. But it rhymes with muck, and the other one rhymes with sure do. Give me 0 State here. I think they're going to be focused. They know they got a tough 3-game stretch coming up. They want to finish strong. I'll take 0 State.
Purdue won their Super Bowl when they played Michigan State. That's not going to be that's their only big thing. Similar to how Jacksonville beat Buffalo in the NFL, that's their Super Bowl. Going to go ahead and get Ohio State here with a big win, and I think Ohio State takes care of business at home.
Ohio State will indeed take care of business at home, knocking Purdue back to the basement where they came up from. Sending all them Boilermaker fans into basketball season with national championship hopes, only to be ruined in the first round of the NCAA tournament when they play a team like North Texas or Arkansas, Little Rock. Give me Ohio State in this one, big. Dylan, if you ever tell me again that Purdue is a national championship contender, you will be removed from the Zoom meeting. Please do not ever say that again. We've heard it every year with here. Timeout. You got me going. Congratulations. You got me going. Every single year we hear this with Purdue. We heard it with Biggie. Oh, man, this Purdue team's good. They're going to make a run. They're going to make a run. I mean, Purdue literally blew a 20-something point lead to Tennessee with Carson Edwards. They blew a 20-point lead against Virginia with Carson Edwards. If Purdue hasn't won a national championship now, they never will. I'm sorry to say it. I'm sorry to hurt your guys' feelings.
Not hurting my feelings.
I know, but I'm just talking to the Purdue viewers. I'm sorry to hurt your feelings, but end of the day.
This is a good sneak peek into what's coming next week with our basketball coverage.
It is indeed. But at the end of the day, it's always banner up, boiler down. At any rate.
Let's continue.
Yes, let's continue. Thanks for getting me fired up. The last thing I wanted to do today was go on a rant about Purdue.
Train's off the track again.
Yeah, I know. Thanks a lot. Minnesota at number 20, Iowa on the Big Ten Network. This is This is the toilet bowl.
Yeah, Minnesota, get back game. Not a get right game, a bounce back game. I just don't trust Iowa's offense. They are not playing well at all. Give me Minnesota here.
Woo! Wow.
I'm going to take the Hawkeyes to differentiate from Mr. JR. Maybe that gets me back from a miss on the Hail State pick, but yeah, I think Iowa wins this one.
Yeah, he said that with his chest too. I'm going with Iowa. I'm going with Iowa as well, Dylan. Look, this is a Minnesota team we're talking about who lost to Bowling Green State at the beginning of the year at home. So this is a terrible Minnesota team. Give me Iowa. This is going to be a terrible game to watch, though.
Yeah, another game where you want to take the under.
For sure. This is going to be slop. Terrible game. Southern Mississippi at number 15 UTSA. Whoa. I said number 15 UTSA. I meant number 23 UTSA. Got a little ahead of myself there.
Give me the University of Texas San Antonio.
Yes, sir. That's how it's pronounced. UTSA, Texas San Antonio all day, 33-point dogs. They'll top that and win by 40 against Southern Miss.
Yeah, UTSA pretty large here. Nothing really to get into on this one. 4 p.m. Maryland at 7th ranked Michigan State on Fox. JR, what's your line? Could be a little bit of a letdown.
Possibly. Give me Sparty, but I think this game's probably going to be a little bit closer than people suspect. That loss to Purdue could be awfully deflating to Michigan State. They probably don't have. Unless they beat Zero State, which is probably not going to happen. But I'll take Sparty here.
Yeah, I'll take Sparty as well. I just don't think Maryland has the guts to get it done.
Yeah, I'm going Michigan State too. This isn't basketball. Give me Michigan State. 7 p.m. Here we go. 11th ranked Texas A&M at number 15 Ole Miss on ESPN. Dylan, have they released the broadcast crews for the games yet?
They have not. This is probably either Big Game Bob.
I say this is Fowler Herbie.
Fowler Herbie, ESPN? This is not an ABC.
But Fowler and Herbie were on ESPN for the Bama LSU game last week. And this
could be Fowler Herbie. I also wouldn't be shocked to see Benetti.
That's where game day is going to, is Ole Miss.
Well, then it's Fowler Herbie.
Okay.
Ole Miss, they're a little banged up on the offensive side of the ball. A&M, I really like the way that they're playing. I hate their coach. I really don't like Texas A&M. They are favored here on the road. I do like taking home dogs, but in this instance, I'm going to keep rolling with the A&M train. Give me the Aggies. And Jimbo, who is being rumored for the LSU job.
Oof. I'm going to steal Landon's thunder here and give me the Lane train, ladies and gentlemen. Ole Miss.
Woo! Give me the Lane train. I'm going with Ole Miss as well here. AR, I'm sorry, there is no such thing as an A&M train. Give me Lane Kiffin here. Ole Miss. Give me Ole Miss at home. I think being at home really gives them the advantage here. Texas A&M, they are playing well. Too well. They're playing a little too well. I think there's a little bit, like you mentioned, there's a little bit of smoke behind the screen there. Is their coach leaving for LSU? Are we getting into the playoff? Are we making the SEC championship? Too much smoke. Give me Lane Kiffin and the Ole Miss Rebels. Here we go. 7:30 p.m. Here's another really interesting game. Winner of this one's going to the ACC championship, boys. 16th ranked NC State at number 12, Wake Forest on the ACC network.
Yeah, good game. I like the spot though for Wake. Not quite a get right game because of their opponent. The NC State, they're no slouch certainly, but I'm going to stick with the Wake offense and playing at home. I like their spot, but again, like Michigan State, the way that they lost last week and they were undefeated and they had a lot to play for could be very deflating. Let's see how their coach and their players respond after a defeat like that. I'm going to stick with Wake.
NC State's my pick here, and I think it's pretty clear. I no offense to anything you said there, JR, but you brought up how Michigan State, after a big loss, tough game, physical battle. That's how Wake Forest was. They're going up against a tough opponent who's ranked 16th in the nation. NC State 7-2 on the year, so they're very good. They're no Maryland. They're no Maryland. No. So NC State, I think, comes in and will beat Wake Forest on the road.
Look, NC State, they're a really tricky team. I'm still trying. Here we are on week number 11, trying to get a read on this NC State football team. I can't tell. You never know what NC State team you're gonna get. I mean, I truly don't. I'm gonna go ahead and stick with my gut here and go with the Wake offense. I don't think the NC State defense can shut down that Wake offense. Give me the Deeks. I'm still not even sure what a Demon Deacon is, but give me the Demon Deeks. 25th ranked Arkansas at LSU on the SEC network. Tricky game.
Yeah, LSU, they threw everything in the kitchen sink at Alabama and they lost. I think the Coach O journey is over. This season is pretty much a wrap for them. I'm going to go with Arkansas here.
It's really sad what happened to LSU. They were really good for that 1 year. It's weird how you see that happen, where they have 1 year where everything clicks and then it all just transpires after that. So really strange to see that. They're in a bad place right now. Arkansas 6-3, 25th in the nation. I say if you're 25, you're not ranked, so I don't really look at that. But I'm going to take Arkansas because LSU, it's a dumpster fire right now.
Give me the LSU Tigers. I think the players are going to play for Coach O. He's in his last 3 games with LSU. Look, whether you like him or not, he did a lot for the program of LSU. I mean, he won them their first national championship since Les Miles in the early days. What was it? Oh, my God. I'm going to forget it. I think it was 07, 08 when they won it? I think it was the wild 2007 year when Les Miles won it, the Mad Hatter. Give me LSU here. I don't like where they're at moving forward. Personally, I love Coach O. I think he knows his football. He's been around. But last 3 games with the Tigers, last 3 times I'll ever get to hear "Go Tigers." So give me LSU here. They're at home. Probably not going to be much of a crowd, if I'm being honest. Knowing that student section, they're not showing up. But give me the Tigers. TCU at number 10, Oklahoma State on Fox.
Give me Oklahoma State, but TCU, I think they're invigorated with Coach Kill taking over their program. But Oklahoma State, they're going to be focused, coming off a nice win in Morgantown last week. They were one of my locks in another pool. Give me Oklahoma State. Give me the mullet.
Yeah, I'm also riding Oklahoma State. TCU is good for an upset, but that's all they're good for. Just one.
Give me the Pokes. Whoa! Washington. Here we go. 10:30 p.m. JR likes to call it Pac-12 after dark. Washington State at number 3, Oregon on ESPN.
I think Washington State, were they on a bye last week?
Indeed, they were because
they upset Arizona State, got a bye, had a lot of turmoil with the vaccine mandate and their coaching staff. Their players seem to have rallied from that. But tall task going to Oregon. They're going to play tough, but give me the Ducks.
Oregon in overtime.
I have Oregon in regulation by 21 points. Yeah, give me Oregon in this one big. Washington State.
As crazy as it sounds, those are both bold takes. Overtime and 21 plus. So
right, it happens a lot. I mean, didn't you say Ohio State and Indiana will go into overtime, and then I said clock starts running at the first quarter, it won't stop. Give me Ohio.
Yeah,
and I was right. I was right on that one. I'm trying to make it 2 for 2. Nevada at number 22, San Diego State on the CBS Sports Network. Can Brady Hoke get back on track here?
Pretty decent game for a Saturday night. San Diego State, yeah, they just keep plugging along. They're nothing flashy, pretty sound defense. I'm going to stick with the Aztecs.
I really wanted to pick Nevada because if they win, they'll be ranked. But I'm going to go ahead and go with the Aztecs as well.
Dylan, I'm going to go ahead and pick Nevada for you because I have
Darn
it
it.
all along. I'm going with
Imbecile.
I'm going with Nevada. Typical trap game. We saw it against Fresno. We saw it with Fresno State, San Diego State. This is a trap game for San Diego State. Nevada's nothing to play around with, guys. They're 7-2. They are 7-2. They're a good football team. Give me Nevada in the upset. Nobody will be watching this game. This is not even televised. It's 10:30 p.m. Not even televised. All right, our not so game of the week. You guys are gonna laugh at me for this one. Rutgers at Indiana on the Big Ten Network. Indiana 2-7. What a shit show.
Woo.
LEO, FEO, prison inmate, game of the week. You know, I watched that Indiana game last week, and I don't know how many times I've seen their offensive coordinator call a quarterback run on 3rd and 5. It makes me so mad. If they don't fire that guy yesterday, it's still too late. You know, oh boy, this is an ugly game. Give me IU, but it's going to be close.
Anytime I get the chance, I'll say it. Similar to basketball, Rutgers is beating Indiana.
See, your biasness gets in the way. Your biasness just ruins the whole thing.
Rutgers is 4-5.
They might win. They really might. I mean, Indiana, they got problems, man.
Right.
They got a lot of problems.
Look, I like IU. They are a disaster right now. I know I get it. I know I kind of poo on them a lot this season. But I call it how it is. I like IU. I have nothing against IU. Quite frankly, I really want to go there. Give me IU. This isn't basketball. This is football. At home, I mean, they're not going bowling. This is their chance to maybe finish strong, if you will. Tom Allen, this is a tough one, but give me IU close. As JR mentioned, Rutgers could freaking win this game. That'd be terrible. That'd be terrible.
Inside sources have told me that Tom Allen has got to win next year, or it could be sayonara for Coach Allen.
Wow.
Bye.
Yes.
Don't let the door hit you.
And those are pretty influential sources, right. Way high up.
Yeah, as you are an IU guy yourself, you would have the inside job on that. You saw IU football, didn't you? Were they terrible back then too?
We were decent. We were still there with Bill Mallory. I was there in '94 when we had Penn State on the ropes with Kerry Collins and Kajana Carter. That was really the only time that Penn State was on the ropes all year. We were 6-6. Quite honestly, Randall L. should have won the Heisman one of the years that I was there. I mean, they weren't awful. They weren't great. They were all right. The only time I went to a game was when my parents came to town. So if you guys saw where I lived, you would probably know why. But Yeah, no, they were all right, but they certainly should be better where they're at now. Given the state of their program, you have to go back to last year. And was it a fluke because of COVID? Maybe.
Right. Did you go to a lot of basketball games as well? Or
I never missed a basketball game.
okay, about to say if you don't go to basketball games,
No, I never missed a game.
I can only imagine, especially back in those days. I mean, going to IU basketball at its prime. Oh man.
It was so much fun. Pre-game. Woo!
All right. Well, let's keep moving.
No names, please. No names, please.
Let's keep moving along here. Excuse me. Our non-ranked game of the week at noon on ESPNU. We have UCF at SMU. This is gonna get dicey.
Hey, give me SMU.
I will take UCF.
Gus Bus. You're going with Gus Bus.
Yep.
If you ever watched that movie, The Benchwarmers, I suggest you watch it. I'm going with SMU here. Typical first-year coach. Not every day you see a coach going from the SEC to the American Athletic Conference, but give me SMU. Here we go, 7:30 p.m., number 9, Notre Dame at Virginia on ABC. Right now the line is what? One of you tell me.
It is 5.5.
Yeah. I think Notre Dame's going to win this game. Probably in the 34-30 range. All those things that I preach week to week with a successful Notre Dame outcome are going to have to travel on the road. You got to limit your penalties. You got to tackle well. You got to protect the football. You got to be disciplined. You can't turn the ball over. Got to force some turnovers. Like you guys say, effective in the red zone, 7s, not 3s. All those things are going to have to travel in a game like this. And if you can win convincingly, and this might be their last chance to maybe make an impression upon the committee, that could go a long way. I like Notre Dame. Give me 34-30.
Johnny D's kicking machine leg has to also travel to Virginia. Going unpopular here, fellas. I am going to go ahead and pick Virginia in this football game with a final score of 33-27. I just think this is the case. Traveling on the road, I'm selling you. I'm selling it with my gut. I think the injury to Avery Davis is big. No Kyle Hamilton will be big. There's a lot of things that have to go well, and I'll be the first to admit. I'll say I'm sorry if this is not the outcome, but something very gutty is just turning in my stomach that says this is Virginia's game.
You've picked against Notre Dame 3 times this year. You've been wrong all 3 times. You're going to be wrong a 4th time now. Notre Dame 38-35. I'm sitting here and I'm absolutely baffled at you right now that you were sitting here telling me that we're going to take a loss. Now, if you wouldn't have picked against us 3 other times this season, I wouldn't be so baffled. But it's just the fact that you picked against us now 4 times.
Here's my thought process behind it. Now, obviously, it's a lot of gut based, but my experiences when it comes to going to games at Notre Dame Stadium have followed as such. Now, in 2018, 2017, can't remember what year it was, 2017, we had the 1 loss to Georgia, right? I was going to Navy the very next, the week after we went to Miami, and I was riding high. All right, this is a good football team. We could absolutely our brakes beat in against freaking Miami. Then I go to the game a little bit less fired up, obviously, because they're coming off a big loss against Navy. That was the game that I went to. I'm going to the Georgia Tech game next week with you. And something's telling me that Virginia, they I don't know. Maybe it's past experiences. Maybe it's my gut. I don't know. But Virginia's a good offense, and we have some injury issues. And I'm a little bit concerned in that area.
they have their issues as well. Their quarterback has broken ribs. All it takes is 2 hits, get him out of the game. I'm going with Notre Dame 38-35. I'm a little bit toned down now. I just went and took a pill. I'm kidding, by the way. Anyway,
Hey,
Notre Dame
reverse
wins.
the curse. Rescind his ticket.
I mean, it is going to be 30-something. It's going to be in the low 30s. By the end of the game, it should be in the high 20s. I could sell it.
Listen, I think Uncle Juan is available. I do travel well.
Do you? All right. Well, Irish fans, that does it for today's episode of the Golden Domers Report. You heard it here. Uncle Juan travels well. If he needs a place to stay, if you're hiring anywhere, renting out your house, just let Uncle Juan know up there. JR, thanks for being here as usual. You're part of the show now. It's a weekly thing.
I love it. I really do. I appreciate you guys having me. It's a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Go Irish. Dylan, you're on a suspension.
I'll take that.
Hey, opinions are like buttholes. Everybody's got one.
Right.
Right. Anyway, go Irish and love the Notre Dame. See you next time, Irish fans.